Welcome to the introduction of the My Marketing Experience simulation. In this simulated environment, your team will run your own jeans brand. The objective of this marketing simulation is to decide on an attractive target market and set your decisions in a way that your jeans become the preferred option for this target market. To create jeans that are preferred by your chosen target market, you can change its price, quality, and add features such as eco-friendly materials or double stitching. You can then differentiate your product further by selecting the place, promotion, people, process, and physical environment. As you may have noticed, you'll be working on the 7 P's of the marketing mix to differentiate your brand from other brands. The simulation you will be playing is a tool that helps you create your own marketing plan. Step by step, you will be presented with the choices that you normally have to do to create a marketing plan. By the end of the simulation, you'll be able to download your own marketing plan, which you can still adjust later if you disagree with the decisions you've taken in the previous rounds. The simulation is played in teams that are competing against each other for the limited number of customers in the market and their limited budgets for jeans. This means that the decisions of Company A affects the results of Company B, and if all brands decide to sell high-priced jeans, it will be extremely easy for any of them to start selling low-priced jeans. Each company starts in an equal position and have the same history as the other companies. Also important to know is that the game is played in rounds, which are equal to a quarter of a financial year. For each round or quarter, you'll be able to analyze your results for the last round and set new decisions based on your analysis and keeping in mind your target market. Don't forget to read the latest news bulletins, as you might find valuable information here that influences your decision making. Each round played will have a specific focus. The first round focuses on analyzing the metrics that are available to you in the simulation and setting targets for your company. In the second round, you'll have to divide the market into segments, ideally segments that are all looking for a specific type of jeans that is different from the jeans that other segments are looking for. The better you do in the first 2 rounds, the easier it becomes in the third round, because the third round focuses on selecting a target market that is based on the analysis and segmentation you've completed in the previous 2 rounds. Important to know is that the third round is the final round you can decide on your target market. After the third round, you will focus on differentiating your product on price, product, promotion, place, and physical environment, keeping your target market in mind. Once logged into the simulation, you will be presented with the dashboard, which is the perfect place to start. On the dashboard, you'll be able to find all the theory you might need to take in order to make decisions presented to you in the first round, so you won't have to reach for your textbook. You will also find an introduction message telling you about the focus for this round and some of the instructions to help you get started on the new rounds. On the dashboard, you'll also find your current position within the market and the deadline for the results to be calculated and the next round to start. As stated before, the first round you should focus on is analyzing all the metrics that are available to you and selecting 3 targets. Please do not search for information about potential customers outside of the simulation, as we present you with all the information needed about the simulated customers. The first tab under Metrics and Analysis goes to tell you about the demographics and preferences of the customers in the simulation. For instance, you'll be able to see that roughly 1/3 of the simulated customers are single and 2/3 are in a relationship. Almost half of the population is male and slightly larger than half is female. You can also see that the most profitable quarter is usually the final quarter of the year, and the least profitable quarter is the second quarter of any year. There's a lot more valuable information to be found here. You'll also find it interesting that 40% of customers are looking for affordable jeans, 45% want to buy jeans that are of great value, and 15% of the market are looking for jeans that are of high quality and are prepared to pay the premium prices that go with it. The market positioning map doesn't tell you a lot in the first round, as you all start with the same history, But in future rounds, you will see some of the competing companies that have raised their quality and prices, or perhaps decided to offer more affordable jeans. In the financial results, you can see how much cash is available in your company and how high the earnings and costs were for the previous rounds. The sales demand figures are one of the most important figures to analyze each round, because unsold inventory can lead to a large amount of loss. In this simulation, 100% of your inventory is sold each round. The jeans that are not sold through regular demand will be sold in an outlet store at 10% below the cost price. Thus, if your jeans cost €100 to make, you sell them in an outlet store for €90. The figure, amounts sold at a discount, represent the jeans that were only sold because your competitor was out of stock for that period. It is unlikely that these customers return to buy your jeans unless your competitor has also had inventory issues. Here we see the market share for men's and women's jeans for each company. As you all start with equal market share, let's move on to the more important metric, that is the scorecard. If you outperform the other teams on your scorecard, you will win the simulation. Of course, you can earn extra points for your selected KPIs, which I'll show later on. Above the scorecard, you can see if you are selling to customers that belong to your target market, or perhaps you are selling more jeans to customers that do not belong to your target market, indicating that your jeans are not preferred by your selected target market. This metric influences your brand awareness image and loyalty scores. Thus, it is really important to sell your jeans to your target market and not to customers that don't belong to your target market. Finally, if you have bought any market research in previous rounds, you'll find those results here under the tab Market Research. Every round, it is also important to take a look at your new news bulletins, as this might give you valuable information that might influence your decisions for the next round. After you've analysed the metrics, hopefully you've found some important opportunities for your company. Perhaps you've noticed that there is a large group of young people, millennials or elderly, that you want to focus on. After this analysis, it's time to think about and start setting up your strategy. In the first round, you should start with coming up with a company name, a mission statement, and selecting 3 targets from the list. In this section, you can also write down valuable insights you've gained from analysing the metrics and explain your important findings and decisions. After you've taken your decisions, please press the Save button before you move on to any other page, or you'll lose all your work. Once you've analysed the metrics and have come up with a winning strategy, it's time to set your decisions that should be in line or based on your strategy. Let's start with the first decision available, is selecting the quality of your jeans. If your company is going to sell the most affordable jeans, of course you can't select the highest quality materials, because the costs for higher quality materials are much higher. If you're going to sell the highest quality jeans, of course you'll have to ask for much higher prices, because to offer the highest quality jeans, you need to make large investments in staff, the service levels, and more besides having a higher cost price. Besides the quality of the material, you can select quality improvements, style improvements, and feature improvements to create that product that is likely to be the best for your target market. After selecting the quality and features of your jeans, you have to set the selling price. Keep in mind that the price has to be higher than the cost price, which includes the distribution costs and labeling costs per product. Think about the message you want to portray about your jeans. Are they fun and cheap, or perhaps durable and sporty? Or is your target market more interested in designer jeans? You should also think about where you'll be able to find your customers. There are some costs associated with selling in different locations. Thus, you shouldn't select any areas where you will not sell any jeans. If you are not sure about this option, keep in mind that in the results section, you'll be able to see how many jeans are sold per location. Then, you should set your own stock levels. Keep in mind that you don't want to send your customers to your competitor by not having enough inventory, but you also do not want your supply to be way too much, as you'll be forced to sell them at a loss in the outlet store. Think about the training budget and service level that will best fit your target market. Are they willing to pay for it? Because if you increase your costs, you'll have to raise your selling price as well. Finally, think about how important online sales are to your company, and if you perhaps need to buy market research to make the right decisions for the next quarter. To see the ranking table and find out how you've done, better or worse than other teams, go to the ranking in the top right hand corner. If you have any questions about the simulation or the results, please make use of the help desk, which is serviced by a team of simulation experts that will help answer your questions within 24 hours any day of the week. Let's end this video with a friendly reminder to save your decisions before you move on to the next page.